Beat Brain Zombie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, good evening to the Bodacious Rant with Burn and Rye. And tonight, I think you know what we're going to talk about. Burn, why don't you tell them? Why don't you tell everybody?
It's another installment of What If Wednesday. Wednesday!
Isn't that song supposed to be Saturday? What day is it today?
Wednesday.
Exactly. She's not wrong. It's just like, yeah, I mean, but it's supposed to be Saturday, man. I don't know. It's just, you're messing up your own song, but yeah, it's Elton John. Anyways, yes, we are talking about the new installment of What If, the 5th episode, and it featured the one I've been waiting for, zombies.
Yes, Marvel zombies.
Yeah, and needless to say, I was a little disappointed by it. At first, I really liked it, but then as I thought about the episode and went on later during the day, I was like, it just didn't have that flair with me. I mean, so far the strongest ones have been Agent Carter and Doctor Strange and T'Challa. But you know, just this one and then the one preceding Doctor Strange with Black Widow and everybody, like What If the Avengers lost, are the weakest ones so far. And yeah, this is one we'll talk about in the spoilers a little bit. I think right now I'll just give my rating, which is just 2 out of 5 rantings, to be honest. Just because, I mean, I know that's a little harsh, but I only had a couple cool moments in it, and like, you know, I like the idea of it, but the run time and, you know, just I think it was mostly just the run time that really did this a disservice. There was not enough to really, you know, dive into this, so that's why it's a low rating for me.
Wow, I mean, you're right. You're right there with me. Like, that's basically what I was gonna say. I mean, you took the words like right out of my mouth. I mean, I'll add on to that the fact that, yeah, like I do agree that the runtime. I mean, I guess like for most of the episodes have kind of been one of those things that have been not so great because like you don't really have enough time to like flesh these different, you know, what if scenarios out too much. So it's kind of like we're getting a truncated version of what we would have gotten had they gotten like basically maybe like an hour runtime or something, you know, just a little bit more time to like flesh out the stories. And I think it hurt this one a lot in particular. This one along with the murder mystery episode, which I think these two are the weakest ones of the bunch so far. I would also say that I didn't care too much for the voice acting in this one either. It felt a little stiff, particularly Mark Ruffalo, and the scene in the very beginning where, you know, like it's not good.
We'll talk about it in the spoilers.
Yeah, it just wasn't very good. Again, they do the thing where they repeat lines from a movie, and this time it falls flat a lot, like, you know, Samuel L. Jackson's in the third episode. Yeah, the murder mystery one, where they repeat the lines, and there's just, you can tell like these aren't voice actors. And yeah, I think the tone also, there was a little bit of a tonal problem in this episode as well. So basically, it's like a lot of the same complaints I had for the murder mystery episode I had here, and it's a 2 out of 5 for me too.
For sure. Well, let's dive into the spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. So again, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Come on back. But until then, let's get into it. Let's really chomp into this bit.
Let's just bite into it. You know, just the whole I don't know, thing. I was trying to think of a zombie thing, but I just couldn't because, you know, I don't got good brains.
You son of a bitch. Anyways, though, the beginning, though, I will agree. I didn't really pick up on the voice acting too much this episode. I think it was just the whole zombie factor kind of overwhelmed me. Like it blew off all the senses. But yeah, the voice acting with Mark Ruffalo in the beginning was definitely, again, yeah, you could definitely tell he's not a voice actor, and it just felt a little like, yeah, I'm going through the motions. Let's get this over with.
Yeah, again, it was just delivered like. You can tell, like, he wasn't comfortable. Like, it wasn't, like, on a set, you know, interacting with people. He was just kind of doing, like, a line reading of the lines that we got in Infinity War, where he's like, you know, come on, big guy. Like, it's like he's trying to, like, psych himself up to Hulk out. And this one, it just came off like, come on, big guy. They need us. Let's do it. Like, it's just like, man. It's like, you know, like, we've heard Ruffalo say the lines before, so we know he can say them better. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword with bringing in your live action cast for your voice acting because like they may have done like animated characters or some sort of like CGI voiceovers or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not the same when you have to do it for the animated show. And that's the thing, like you can really tell when animated shows are really great because of the voice acting.
Yeah.
Because they really put themselves in there. They haven't done live action before, so you really have to put more imagination into it. But with this one, it's kind of like, we already know our characters. We're just kind of doing this for whatever. Mm-hmm. That's the vibe I get mostly, and sometimes it's worked like for the few episodes, but this one and the murder mystery one just it didn't flow.
Yeah, I think just voice acting is one of those things like you don't notice it unless it's bad. Like it's one of those like underappreciated I guess talents that people have. Like we don't really give voice actors enough credit, and again, it's only one of the times where it's not good that we notice like, oh wow, like there's actually like acting going on here.
Yeah, who's the one actor from like The Nice Guys and stuff? He voiced Spawn. What was that guy's name?
Keith David.
Keith David is one of the few actors. This is a random rant, but he's one of the few actors that can actually act and voice act.
Oh, he does a lot of voice acting work. Yeah,
he was Spawn. He was in Gargoyles. He's in all kinds of stuff. So I just when you can get to Keith David's level of acting, that's kind of when you know he's got it. Even though sure he may not have won, maybe he's not made an Academy Award. I don't know if he's gotten one, to be honest. But either way, he's still a well-renowned actor.
Yeah.
So I respect him for that. But again, I really like the zombie beats with this one. You know how it was very much like Dawn of the Dead, Walking Dead, where Mark Ruffalo, like Hulk, is just thrown into this Bruce Banner. And that first shot was actually pretty cool, where you see a portal open up and Iron Man just blasts
Ebony
Maw's face at, and then you just see the zombies come at him. So I thought that was cool that they stayed true to that Marvel Zombies story, that they still use their powers. And I mean, again, this whole show is drawn inspiration from the comics. These are all what-if stories that have been featured at some point or another, or teased in other stories. And I didn't think they were going to be the exact same, but I just thought it was just a little weak how they were designed. But again, this is also just, it is a family show, so they can't go super gruesome with it.
Yeah, I actually kind of was surprised how gruesome they got at certain points. Like you definitely do see like some disembowelments, beheadings, body limbs, flying off. So I was a little bit like, oh, okay, they are going there. Obviously, they didn't go to the extent that they could have.
They can't go to that extent.
But it was more than I was expecting, which I did appreciate.
But again, it's my main problem was just the runtime. The 30-minute runtime felt super limited for this story.
Yeah.
I think this could have been one of the stronger ones had it gone on the full hour, because that way we could explore more what the characters have gone through, what experiences they've gone through in the zombie apocalypse, and it just didn't. It was like, God damn it, this doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah, I mean, they could have at least like done a two-parter, done like one half this week, the last half next week. But yeah, once we're like rushing into the beats, it's like we're going from like one thing to another, and it's hard to really get attached to these versions of these characters. Like again, the idea of them is cool, and then the cast that they do bring together is cool. Having Sharon Carter and Happy Hogan, in the team, and like seeing what they can do. It's like it's interesting. It's like, again, you want to like experience more with these characters, but we're just not getting it. So it's like, man, there's missed opportunities here.
Yeah, essentially it was almost like the Endgame team, except half of them were dusted in the movies. Where this one, it's like they melded, like how Okoye is kind of like on the Avengers Council, a little bit, and it had Sharon, like basically they were all the people that got dusted except for Okoye for the most part. So it was kind of interesting. I just like the zombie fighting team. I thought that was a really good cast, like with Sharon Carter, Winter Soldier, Happy Hogan, Spider-Man, and then one of
Kurt Ant-Man's buddy, David Dastmalchian, which his animated version looks nothing like him.
Oh, nothing at all. I could not recognize him until I heard the voice. I was like, oh, that's Kurt. Like, not very well done, but I love him. I keep forgetting he was an Ant-Man. I love his performance, especially in the second one. Just Baba Yaga. Or when it's just like, oh, those donuts represent her, that we're days away from closing. Oh, out of business, days away. That's terrible bussing. He does a good accent. The only thing I kind of thought too, like how you said the humor was a little weird, I thought it was a little interesting that, Scott Lang with his head in a jar, he was so light about it. It was cool because it's Paul Rudd's voice, but I'm like, this is a pretty serious moment. How are you so optimistic right now? I can understand Spider-Man's optimism, but Scott, you lost your whole freaking body. Like, you're just a jar. You're like that character. You're like Nixon from Futurama.
Yeah, for me, that worked just because, Scott's character is, one that's a little bit more lighthearted, so I didn't mind that as much. But there were, other beats where the comedy just kind of, felt weird, especially with, Happy Hogan, where, in his death scene, this should be, a very scary, intense moment, and instead it's, cheapened by, I guess, an attempt at humor with him, mouthing just the blam, blam, vocalizing it when he has the little, repulsor watch that Iron Man had in Civil War. So I thought that, felt out of place. And, there were other little moments, here and there where it was just that didn't really work for me.
And the ending, the only thing that was kind of dumb, which, again, any zombie movie, if you've seen everything, you kind of know at the end, there is no hope. It's an inevitable doom. And this one was Zombie Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, which was pretty cool. But then if you really think about it, why would a zombie want the Infinity Gauntlet? That was the only thing I'm like, it's not the most well thought out because he wants to eat everybody. He doesn't want to race everybody at this point. So I don't know. It was a cool idea, but I just think, again, the runtime, the imbalance of humor, and just that ending little plot hole just didn't really work for me.
Mm-hmm. I did like it where Hulk was facing off with the zombified Scarlet Witch. That whole Vision Scarlet Witch story was really cool. Yeah,
that I really like the fact because it's funny because in Zombies, the comic book, Hulk was a real threat besides Galactus or whoever. But I don't think Galactus became a zombie. I don't remember.
Oh, they all ate him and they inherited his powers. Him. Well, they did that to Silver Surfer first.
But Hulk was the big bad of the zombie world. So I thought it was nice that it's Scarlet Witch. And again, I like the idea that they still could use their powers. They knew how to fight and stuff, but they were just zombified. So yeah, but besides that, it was just okay. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, it's a lot of these things. Some of them episodes are gonna be better than others, and this was on the weaker end, but I think it's just a matter of the format, really. If they were to maybe spin these shows off into their own shows, that would be cool. Or maybe if next season they decided to, open up the length of the episodes a little bit longer to better fit whatever story they're telling. If it's a smaller story, you can use the 30 minutes, and if it needs a little bit more time to breathe, then they should give it that.
Yeah, either make it a longer episode or just do 2-parters every during the season. Mm-hmm. I think some shows do it. It works for them. So I think, there's the runtime for this show is definitely doing these storylines a disservice. But besides that, that's all I got. Burn. What about you?
I did like the voice actor that subbed in for Tom Holland. I thought he did a pretty good job. All things considered, I thought he mimicked him pretty well.
I did not know that was a voice actor, so yes, he did do a great job.
yeah, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know it definitely wasn't Tom Holland. But I thought he voiced him really well, and I liked his interactions with Wasp. I liked that she got a little bit more time to shine, which I hope she does get more in the movies going forward.
Yeah, just the episodes with Hank Pym have not done him justice.
No.
He's been the problem. Murder mystery, definite villain. This time he was the cause of the zombie apocalypse. Uh-huh. So it's just, man, I don't know what they're trying to say about Mike Douglas, but it's just damn, you guys just don't like Michael Douglas.
Hank Pym's got to go.
Go. The fucker's got to go. All right, but everybody, let us know what you thought of in this episode, if you've seen it, and what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Are we being too harsh with it, or are we spot on? Let us know. Until next time, everybody, stay bodacious, keep on ranting, and stay safe. And Burn, I'll talk to you later, my brother.
Absolutely, man. Everybody, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, prescribe, because we are the medicine, essentially.
I don't know if that sounds right, but it sounds like Breaking Bad. I'm the danger.
We are the ones who knock on your door. We're just trying to get subscribers. Be like, hey.
Peace out, dude.
Adios, man.